Hey y'all, my name is Adam Enggasser. I'm a senior here at Carolina, studying public health. And coming into Carolina, I was honestly not totally sure what it was going to look like. I had a lot of energy. I was super excited to be here, but I knew almost no one. So that was a little bit daunting coming in. However, after getting to campus, literally there's so many friends that I met just walking around campus, getting to know people from random classmates and recitation and stuff like that. But then I feel like where my friendships really started to blossom was from campus ministry. So I feel like although I was a little bit worried about the transition coming to Carolina as far as making friends and stuff, it went a lot better than I thought, especially after I found the Battle House. I'll probably talk about that a little bit more later, but that really kind of was a turning point my freshman year, going from not knowing a ton of people and feeling somewhat disconnected from the Christian community to really feeling like I was plugged in with everyone and had really close friends. I feel like for me, college has definitely been a blossoming of my faith. Coming in, I was definitely raised Christian. We went to the church and stuff like that. But it was never really the primary thing that was driving what I did in life. I feel like it was more or less just a Sunday activity for me. And then, I might read my Bible during the week, I might not, didn't really matter that much. But coming to school, I feel like I was exposed to a lot of different people. Some that were really serious about their faith and others who were very flippant about it and just didn't really care that much or didn't believe in God at all. And so for me, at the end of my freshman year, I kind of started to grapple with some of these questions, do I need God and stuff like that. And really just started to wrestle with that. And fortunately, the Lord definitely answered my prayers and broke my heart over some very particular things. And I feel like that's when my faith really started to turn from being something that was just lukewarm to then being something that was very personal and real. Coming to Carolina, I didn't totally know what church I was going to end up in. So the first few months, I basically went to all the churches I could find a ride to or that I could walk to on campus. But it wasn't until I really started to go consistently with my friend Jacob that I found a home at Chapel Hill Bible Church. So for me, that's been a really, really awesome place to grow and to blossom, both from the church and their sermons and their larger group gatherings, and also in College Collective, which is their college ministry. So both of those have turned from something initially where someone went the first couple weeks and I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I think I could, make this my home, to now being a big part of my life. So that's been a big area of growth for me, I think, is finding a good solid church. Okay, y'all, the Battle House has literally been hands down the best part of my undergrad experience. At the end of my freshman year, I found the Battle House. I knew about it ahead of time, I never just came. But anyway, so I found it, I started coming regularly, and that changed, I feel a lot of stuff, especially socially. I went from just knowing people here and there from campus ministries to I feel being able to hang out with people literally anytime I wanted to, just by walking in the front door. So to me, I feel the Battle House, or the NC Study Center as it's officially called, is very much a hangout spot where I can just come, see friends, and I feel those little tiny conversations that you have, just bumping into someone as you're going to study or bumping into someone as you go to get a cup of coffee, really, really grow friendships. And help build long-term relationships. That's where I've started and grown a lot of my really, really close friendships now, and I'm looking forward to what that's going to look like senior year. It's also just a great place academically to they come and study, and then also academically to study the Bible with other Christians, because there are a lot of programs that they do and stuff like that. It's just a great hub to come and ask questions and seek answers, and just to reach out to people who are more experienced, more knowledgeable than we are. And get wisdom. If I could describe the Battle House in 2 words, it would probably be hangout spot. I kind of already alluded to this a little bit, but basically for me, it's a spot to just come, hang out with people, study somewhat, and just do life with others. I feel it's been an interesting journey for me as well, trying to go from this newfound true love for Jesus that's driving my entire life, and then reconciling that with also my desire to go and be a doctor someday. So there have been a lot of questions I think that have come up just in terms of motivation, I think primarily when I'm thinking about what my future career is going to look like, that have been impacted by my faith. And UNC and the Study Center in particular has been an awesome place to be able to explore those. There are a lot of other people there in the same boat as me, and we will kind of come together and figure out exactly what the Bible says about certain issues or certain debates or a lot of very controversial things in medicine that faith comes into play in. I'm guessing probably a lot of you guys are PreMed. I am too, and I've been PreMed when I came in. I'm still PreMed. A lot of people fall off, and that's totally fine. But coming to Carolina, I knew that I wanted to be a doctor. Wasn't totally sure what kind. Still not totally sure. I think maybe pediatrics or something. So coming into Carolina, I feel like I was very focused on academics. Back in high school, that was also a pretty big focus. And rightfully so. I wanted to keep my grades up and stuff like that so I could get into a good med school. But I feel like freshman year, I kind of was tempted to make that like everything, to the point of where like I'd say no to hanging out to people and yes to studying more often than I should. It's probably a good thing too sometimes, but not all the time. But so I feel like I've gone a lot from like studying a lot to then trying to back up a little bit and give myself a little bit of grace, and take off some of the pressure. And ironically, that's actually made my grades better. But yeah, so actually I'm studying public health right now too. Just kind of a niche program to separate myself from a lot of like the general PreMed group, because there are a lot of big classes at UNC. It's been nice to get involved in like a little tiny cohort. Yeah, so coming in as a freshman, I feel like if there was one thing I could have known then that I know now, it'd just be that college is not meant to just prepare you 100% academically for your future career. And that more importantly than academics is preparing you socially as a human being, going from like transitioning as someone living at home with your parents to being like a fully fledged adult that's capable of living on their own, getting married, getting a job, and going out to more school and stuff like that. But I feel like specifically I came in with the attitude of like college was going to prepare me academically for the future, when that's not true. And I need to be focusing a lot more on like personal development, giving myself like space to grow and hang out with people and really do things that are going to develop me in that way, like soft skills instead of just academics. All right, I have a super fun story to tell you all about too, that I feel like kind of sums up like my college experience in a lot of ways. So I have two really close friends I do like almost everything with, and we live together and stuff like that, Jacob and Ben. And spring break last year, we really wanted to go somewhere far. We wanted to do something like radical, but we didn't want to spend a ton of money. So we decided we would drive somewhere. And where else to drive besides Canada? But so we went to the UNC Duke game, so we were all hyped up on that. And then right after, we decided we were just going to drive to Canada because it was going to start to snow, and we had like a limited window of time. So we like left right after that, drove through the middle of the night, had an absolute blast together, just like driving up there in a Mustang, which is the worst possible car to take through the snow. And then getting to Canada and there being more snow, and then trying to figure out a way around there when all the signs are in French and stuff like that. And then driving back and getting back to Cobb. I remember going back to Cobb, Ben's dorm, and hanging out and just be like, what just happened? But I feel like that's just like, in a lot of ways, summed up my college experience, because it's, a great time of bonding, doing something crazy and extreme that's probably not very convenient or the best decision, but it's a lot of fun, and super spontaneous. A lot of it was faith-based in terms of like, we were like listening to podcasts together. I remember like the ride back, Ben and I had some like very particular questions about like creation and what that looked like. So we literally spent like 12 hours in the car just like listening to podcasts here and there and having good conversations and stuff like that. And just like really just growing really deep friendships. We were just talking about that trip the other day, and it's just such a great memory that we have from college. Yeah, so I feel like my favorite part about Carolina is absolutely the atmosphere. It's just a very kind, friendly, open, welcoming place that is not seen at all universities. I feel like the spontaneity here too is just super awesome. Like just after class or between studying for exams or something, just going and having like random time on the quad with friends to play Frisbee or something like that is just like the epitome of the Carolina experience. And that's one of my favorite parts about the school. Again, I've literally had an absolutely amazing 3 years at Carolina so far. Probably the best 3 years of my life up to this point. And I'm really, really excited to see where things go from the future. I feel like my faith in the Lord has gone from being something that's on the back burner to being something that's primary and the focus of my life. And that's literally changed everything. And that's got me really, really excited about the future too, seeing how the Lord's going to continue to work in my career and hopefully a family someday and stuff like that. But y'all are going to absolutely love Carolina. I wish I could be in your shoes right now, like coming to Carolina and having a full 4 years to get involved and meet people, make friends and stuff, because it's a really, really amazing time.